What's going on? So I'm doing my rings. I don't know how many I'll get done, but I noticed something weird. What are the chances of this? These are all my second rings right here. Let me see, am I in there? Yeah, I'm in there. So these are my second rings. And when I pulled my rings out, I did my first, my second, my oil rings, pulled them all out, got a set together. And you can see I don't know if you can see it or not, but the first ring has a little dot. Just like this one does too, but I'm not gonna pull it out. But the second ring didn't have a dot, and the second ring doesn't always have a dot. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I started doing my other second rings. This one doesn't have a little dot anywhere. But all these other second rings all have a dot. So what are the chances I did the first cylinder and the second ring I pull out of the pack of 8 is the one that doesn't have a dot on it? The hell? But anyways, I looked at it. I'm looking at it real close compared to the other ones. And there's a slight taper. So just make sure when I put it back, put this one in, the taper's going the correct way. But that's really weird. I had one ring with no dot on it for orientation. But right now I'm getting a set together for the number 3 cylinder. And you can see the top ring and the second ring. Hold on. So the top ring and the second ring are definitely different. Top ring's shiny on the outside. So yeah, but the second ring, the dot isn't quite as pressed in as the top ring either. So yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, I'm glad I noticed that. But that was the first ring I did. The first ring I pulled out is the one without a dot. So I don't know what the chances of that are. But I'm going to do this real quick. Just one cylinder. Because I got this new file tool. I'm doing it for each cylinder. That's what I'm doing as far as gapping them. So, what are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? Let's see if you can see the fire over there. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you can see it's over there. Got a little hand crank filer. It's pretty neat, pretty nice. I mean, it's got like a metal wheel or some type of, I don't know if it's diamond on there or what, but it cuts pretty good. Well, let me see what this first ring is at. My other one was at 10 for number 1 cylinder. So I'm going to start at 10, I guess. Go up and see where we're at. 10 fit. 11. This one's a little more. 12. 13. This one's a little more. 14. So I'd say this one's, well, it's 15 will go in there. It's kind of snug, but it's probably about 15. So, yeah, that was weird. But I'm gapping these at 25 on the top ring and 28 on the second ring. I'm gapping them for nitrous because you never know. I don't know, I might run nitrous someday, or who knows. But it doesn't take much to get a little bit is that, what, 15? Let's see if it went up to 18. Yeah, there's an 18 in there. 19 kind of fits. And I noticed that there's a little, on the inside of the ring, there's a little, like, bevel. And the second ring's the bevel, when the dot is facing up, the bevel's on this bottom side. So, that must have something to do with oil control or whatever. So, yeah, I ain't never done this before. I never filed rings. Usually I used to just pick the motor up with all the parts from the machine shop and be ready to go. And I've had some that are put together already. Some I just, put it together myself. But they always, checked everything. And 25, what are we at? What are we at? Try 23. 23 is a little tight. So 21's fitting, or 22's fitting. Trying to get to 28. Oh no, I'm trying to get to 25. I'm at 22, so now I gotta go a little slower. A little bit slower. But it takes it down pretty quick. It's surprising, Just a little bit there. A little tiny bit. Once you start getting close. But yeah, a couple turns of that thing. Takes out the material fairly quickly, I guess. Quicker than I expected. Snug. 25 doesn't wants to fit, but it's not quite. So I'm just gonna do a little skin. And when you put it on this thing, I don't know if you can see, but when you put it on there, you kind of wiggle the ring a little bit when you're squeezing it. That's what I do anyway. I squeeze it up to the wheel and I kind of wiggle it, and you can see the ends kind of line up, so I'm trying to get the gap straight as I can, Seems like the best way to do it, I guess. Seems like that should be the way to do it, I don't know. But 25, let's see. Just trying to sneak up on it. Sneaking up a little slow though. I'm gonna get a little bit more. A little bit more. So, yeah, I don't do any cylinder separately because who knows, they're all exactly the same. And I'm marking them. I don't know if you saw that. I guess when I put a 1 on it, cylinder 1. So later on when I put them on the pistons, this 25 is being a little, it's almost, oh there we go. Yeah, there we go, it's 25. There we go, it's fitting in there. So, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I figured if I got the engine and building it, I might as well gap it for nitrous. It's not that much of a difference in gap. I mean, it's a little bit, but I gotta get my wife's nail file here. Just trying to clean up, deburr it. I don't have like the perfect file laying around. Just trying to knock off any edges that might be there. There's one ring for cylinder 3. But yeah, this is a number 2 ring, and it's got a dot. Whereas the first one I pulled out, no dot. And usually that means it doesn't, obviously, when it has no dot, it doesn't matter which way it goes, up or down or whatever. But so I was like, oh, whatever, that's normal, you know. And then I got to looking at the other rings to match them up and get another set going. This sucker had a dot. Why's it got a dot? I don't know. Because this one doesn't have a dot. It's not making any sense. You know, things don't make sense. Those fuckers take too, huh? This one should be at 12. I gotta get this one to 28. One more gap on the second ring for a difference. Probably, I don't know what it's something, I forget. I read up on it, what it was for before. How tiny is this sucker though? Jesus. You know, these rings, it's about a 10. These rings, when I ordered them from Summit, it says file fit, and then you move over to the thing, and it says no. So you're like, all right, so it's, I didn't want to file fit. I didn't want to mess with it, really. So I ordered the one that said no for file fit. And apparently I got to file fit them. So, you know, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's supposed to be gapped already for the whatever cylinder, but there was a variation in bore size they fit though, so maybe it was a typo. I don't know, because it said it fit up to, I mean, it went past 60 over as far as what they fit. Let me see if I move that at all. So I was at 10, right? I was at 10. Where am I at now? Almost 15. It's a little tight, but so I almost went 5 thousandths in that one little cut. Almost went 5 thousandths. So now, you know, you can't trust anything. So I guess that's kind of proof of that. Can't trust anything. Don't trust what the box says or what the description on Summit Racing says. It's about 18 now. This one's going slow. So, yeah, I'm doing this. It's gonna take a little time, you know. Of course, today, but just maybe I'll get these 4 cylinders done. This side anyway. And go from there, you know. But pretty soon, I'm looking at getting a 2-post lift put in here. Well, I'm not getting it put in here. I'm going to order it, put it in myself. But looking at those ones on Amazon, and they're pretty inexpensive. You know, they're not bad. And I got a 9-foot ceiling. Well, it's 111 at the ends, and it dips down about 2 inches in the middle, so it's sagging a little bit. The lift I'm getting is 100. It'll fit 111. So I'm gonna have to, wherever the posts end up, I'm gonna have to jack the beam up a little bit. If I have to, slide it under it, and then get it in there and get it bolted down or whatever, and the beam will sit on it. I'm at 26 now. That was a good cut there. That went quite a bit. 26, see if 27 fits. 27 is a little tight. I'm trying to get to 28, so now I gotta slow down. Slow down. So yeah, 2-post lift. I don't know I'll get it because it's not local, obviously. It's got to be shipped, and I can't have it shipped to my house because I don't have a forklift. I can't get it off the truck. But I do work for a trucking company, so I'm gonna have it shipped to my work. And then I might get a higher flatbed. Pick it up, bring it to my house. Look at this. It's right there. I'm gonna call that 28. So I'm doing 25 on the top ring, 28 on the second ring. That's, by my calculations, by my Google Fi calculator on my phone, that's what it comes out to. I guess the rings get hotter if you run nitrous, so they'll expand more. And, you know, I'm not really, I might run nitrous, I don't know. I always wanted to. I always wanted to have that little button, you know, you press it and, you know, see what happens. Maybe 100 horsepower, 150 horsepower, I don't know. Alright, so I got top, bottom, or second. Now I gotta check these oil rings. The other oil rings have all kinds of gap. It's gotta be minimum 15. So I just stick it in there real quick and check it. Yeah, minimum 15 on the oil ring. That's what it says for basically every, I guess it really doesn't matter as much. Maybe oil ring doesn't expand so much because of the type of metal. So I'm just gonna put 15 in there, and if it fits, I'm happy with that. So, looks like it'll fit. Yeah, it'll fit. So, that oil ring's checked. This oil ring is, yeah, 15. They're actually a little loose. I don't think they're as big a deal. So yeah, that's it. It's top ring, second ring. I get this other, I forget what they call this thing. And this is my oil ring support because I got the stroker crank and the pistons and the pins down a little lower. So it you need a support for the rings. So I put a little 3 on there because that's cylinder 3. Got my frog tape. I got frog tape left over from painting my other house, doing the interior. Might as well use it. So yeah. So 1 and 3 are done. I don't want to get them mixed up. But there was a little difference, but when I put the rings together, you know, you put them together and you can see they look a little, they're not all exactly the same looking, you know? It's weird. So, yeah, so 2 cylinders done. That's nice. But yeah, so let me turn this a little bit. The plan is, as far as the lift, it's going to go in the center bay where the 55 is. It's going to fit no matter what. I mean, I'll jack that motherfucking, what do they call those things up there? There's a technical name for them. The rafters, I think they call them. But it does sag a little bit. It's 111 on each end, a little bit more than 111 actually. So 111 should fit. And in the middle, there's a lot of flex. I can move it and jack it up, get the beat, get it under there. So that's not going to be an issue. So I'll get the lift in here. And I think the concrete's sticking up too, because I drilled a couple holes and it's at least 5 inches thick. One of them, I think, I hit rebar because it wouldn't go through it, and the bit wasn't ready for going through rebar. So we'll see when I go to do the lift, but yeah, so it'll fit. It's gonna be tight, but the plan is next year. I'll say I don't know when next year. Needs a roof. Roof's leaking, you know, there's some damaged plywood, and it's mainly in this center section here, because up top there's like I don't know what it is, it's like a little square thing, and there's this thing up there with a rooster there, you know what I mean, it says east and west or whatever, but I don't think I'm gonna take that off, but it's kind of, I think it's leaking from there and it's coming down. But the plan is I'm gonna cut this roof on both sides. I haven't, you know, figured that out yet. I'm gonna use the lift to lift the roof. And where the rafters connect up top, and from what I've seen, each one of them, it's only got one nail going diagonally into the, I think you call it the header up top. I'm not sure if that's what you call the technical term for it, but so if I cut those nails, there's only one of them on each one, and I cut the plywood going up and down on each side, you know, there'll be more than that involved with it, but I can lift this roof using the car lift, the 2-post lift. You know, I'll have to build something out of 4x4s or something to build like a box to support it, lift it up. I'll try and get another 3 feet out of it if I can. And the center will be higher. It'll be a step roof, because right now it's just all flat, but center will be higher to step down, it'll be sides. And I'll have the center nice and high for, you know, full lift, so I can lift it all the way up. Because right now I figure I can get, once it's lifted, it's not a lot, especially, but I can get under the car a lot easier. Depends on what car it is. You know, 55 Chevys, it's a big car. Durango's a big car. I think the 55 Chevy's higher than the Durango right now, the way it's said. But it's not higher off the ground though, because, you know. So that'd be the plan. I don't know when the lift's coming. I haven't ordered it yet. We're ordering it probably next week. But yeah, that's what's going on around here. And there's the rings. And building these engines over here at Gary's garage. But yeah, so some point, if anyone's interested, I'll post something up on the lift, maybe, you know, show what it looks like. Do a little unboxing. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to expect. From what I see, it's in like a metal crate. They're stacked. You know, you got the 2 main beams. They're stacked, and there's these metal brackets going around it. It's one package, you know, and everything's shoved inside. So I'll do a little video on that. Maybe a little video on getting it fitting, so you can see how the building lays on top of it. But yeah, it'll fit. I was looking at ones that were 111 inches high, and that would definitely fit. It was a 6,000 pound lift, but I didn't really like it because it had, on each side, it was dual point for unlocking it. And I've used those before, and they're not super big deal, but I really like the ones where you just have one lever and it unlocks both sides. So it has that. It's a 12,000 pound lift. I'll never need a 12,000 pound lift, but it is what it is. And it's 111. There's not a whole lot of 111 ones out there, but and I liked it because the base of it, the base where it bolts to the floor is a lot bigger. So I think if the more spread out the base is, the more spread out the bolts are, the safer it's going to be. So I like that. And it's one of those ones with the everything's on the bottom, the chains and everything run out. So it's going to have that little hump in the middle. Because I didn't want to get one of the clear floor ones because the one it would be a lot taller. So that definitely wouldn't fit in here. Plus, if it did fit by some chance, it fit between the beams, and I can get it up over and put the bar across the top. If it did fit, which I could probably do that, it would be offset a little bit or something. But then it would make it hard to lift the roof because then you go to lift it so much, and the beam's going to be that cross beam will be in the way of the rafters. So I got the open top one. I guess they don't call it an open top; they call it something else. But yeah, so I like that, and I like it because it was certified too. It has a it's not really like a government certification, but it's like a third party that certifies it, and they test it to 1.5 times its capacity rated or whatever. So that's good for insurance, as far as on the with the house. So I don't want if something happens, I don't want them to say, well, you got a cheap ass lift that doesn't have certification and everything else, blah blah blah. So you know what I mean. So there's a couple things I liked about it. It was a little more money, not much. I mean, yeah, I guess it was more. I mean, it was 2,000 for the 9,000 pound lift and 3,000 for the 12,000 pound. But I figure if it's a 12,000 pound lift, there's nothing I have that it won't lift like effortlessly, you know. So I'll never have an issue with that. But yeah, so that's what's coming up. I don't know when I'll get it, but when I do, maybe I'll do a little film. I'll have it at my work. It'll be sitting on the floor for whenever I might put it on my. I could put it on my trailer too, because my trailer will it's like 1,400 pounds or something. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but yeah, that's what's coming up. I'll keep working on these rings. You guys have a good one.